in child's pose today. So if you have a bolster or a blanket there, you can come down into this position. So relaxing into your space, coming into child's pose. Just taking some nice deep breaths. And leaving behind the busyness of your morning. Noticing the floor beneath your shins and beneath your feet. Noticing your arms and your hands supported by the earth. And noticing the gentle stretching in your legs and your lower back and your upper back. Softening your eyes. Taking some deep breaths and really relaxing into your space. Scanning your body, noticing any tight areas. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling into those areas, releasing them free of any stiffness or pain. Noticing your mind, you may have some thoughts there remaining, acknowledge them and let them go. I thought we would acknowledge the full moon and the energy it has. We've got a full moon in Capricorn and a lunar eclipse. Full moons help us regain our footing in the face of uncertainty. This lunar eclipse ignites a star sign of long-term goals and lends structure to our ambitions. If you remember back to your New Year's resolutions that you were mapping out in late last year and wondering whether they even make any sense anymore, the weekend that we've just had, you may be able to liberate yourself from those ambitions that you had, that you'd set for yourself, and give you some freedom in the process. But don't be surprised if you feel a surge of motivation. Deferred dreams can come back into focus under the light of the motivating lunar eclipse. If you look back on December 26th, which was the last Capricorn new moon, any seeds that you planted then could be ready to be harvested. Any turbulence surrounding your home or life balance could sort itself out after the full moon phases, bringing clarity after a turbulent time, but not forgetting all the things that you accomplished over the year of 2020, all the changes that you've made. So despite the disruptive circumstances, it's been a transformative year. So thinking about your yoga practice today and setting yourself an intention, you might like to tune into the energy of the full moon. And through your yoga practice today, let go of what doesn't serve you. And breathe in through the full moon, breathing all the energy in. So let's take 3 deep breaths in and 3 breaths out. Letting go of all the things that don't serve us anymore. Remember, throughout the practice today, you can always come to rest into child's pose. Be curious and try a few things, but always remember to listen to your body. Let's come into a seated position, a comfortable seated position. Thank you for being here today to share your practice, to raise your vibration and to raise each other's vibration as we support ourselves in our yoga practice. I'm going to begin the session with an Om. You can join me if you like, but you don't have to. So we'll take a deep breath in and then let it go. And another deep breath in, and we'll chant the Om. Om. Coming to all fours. We're going to start with some cat-cows as we inhale, lifting through the chest, lifting our gaze. A nice curve through our back. And as we exhale, lifting our ribs and our back up towards the ceiling, curving through like a bridge. And then inhale, lifting the chest again. So getting some nice movement into the lower back and the upper back. A little bit of movement into all the vertebrae in our spine. And taking our knees wide and bringing our buttocks back to our heels. Walking our hands forward and bringing our forehead down towards the mat. Staying here for 5 breaths. Noticing the earth underneath your hands and underneath your shins and your feet, supporting you in your yoga practice. With 2 more breaths here. And then coming up onto all fours and bringing your knees underneath your hips and your hands, fingers spread nice and wide on the mat. And we're going to start off with some leg raises. So we're going to inhale as we lift our left leg and pointing the toes to earth. And exhale as we bring that left knee forward into a tiger curl. And then inhale, taking it back up again. We'll go 5 on this side. So as we lift, we're inhaling, and as we bring our knee forward, we're coming into an exhale. Keeping our back nice and flat, nice and steady. I'll go 1 more on this side. And then landing that knee down, and we'll shift our weight to the other side. So inhaling as we lift our leg up, lengthening through the foot, pointing the toes towards the ground. Exhale as you bring your knee forward. Inhale as you lift and lengthen through the spine, getting some movement through that hip area and through the spine, lower back. I will do 2 more on this side. And then landing that right knee down. And we'll take the tempo up a little more, where we're going to lift our alternate knee and hand. So we'll start on left leg, right hand. So as we inhale, lifting through the left leg and the right hand, lengthening through the hand and the foot. Toes are pointing towards the ground. And then bringing that in, touching knee to elbow. Just keep that movement with your breath, wrapping your breath around the movement. And then landing that foot and knee, and we move to the other side. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the leg and lift the hand, pointing the toes towards the mat. Exhale as we bring the knee to the elbow into tiger curl. Trying to keep nice and steady through the back, nice and controlled. And then letting that foot down. We're going to move into a downward dog next. So if you've got socks on like I have, you might want to take them off so you don't slip. So spreading our hands out nice and wide. We'll just have to ignore that. And lifting up through the hips into a downward dog. And pedaling your heels down towards the ground. Staying here for 5 more deep breaths. And we'll take 1 more deep breath here and take our knees out wide and our feet together. Come back into rest, into child's pose. We'll take a couple of breaths here, noticing that stretch through the lower back and stretching through the shoulders. Then coming back up into all fours and lifting up into downward dog. And then taking the left leg up towards the sky into a 3-legged dog. Staying here for 2 breaths. And then bending the left knee and taking the left foot over to the right side into scorpion. And taking the right heel down towards the mat. Getting that stretch back down through the back of the right leg. 1 more breath here. And then bringing that foot down to land it on the ground. And we can take the right foot up into 3-legged dog on the other side. And then bending the right knee, taking the right foot over towards the left into scorpion. We'll stay here for 2 breaths. And then landing that foot back onto the mat. Come back down to all fours. And let's rinse that out with a couple of cat-cows. Just getting our breath even again. And then coming up into a position of kneeling on standing on your knees. And we're going to go into a half crescent lunge. So we'll take that right foot forward, tucking our bottom under, bending our right knee over our right ankle, and inhale as we lift our arms up, lifting our chest up and lifting our gaze. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths, noticing the stretch through the left hip flexor and really lengthening our arms up towards the ceiling. 1 more breath here. Then we're going to bring our arms into warrior 2. So looking forward towards the right hand. Taking 2 breaths here. And then lifting the right hand towards the sky and take the left hand down towards the heel on the left foot. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths, gazing up towards the ceiling, nice and strong through the left leg and the right foot. Two more breaths here. And then bring that left hand back up into warrior 2. And then bringing both hands forward to frame that front foot. And then bringing the front knee back and lifting the toe. So we're coming into a position where that right leg is fairly straight, not locked, and feeling that stretch through the back of the right leg. Stay here for 3 more breaths. And then bring it back into a bent position and take that leg back next to the other one. So we're going to change sides now. So we're going to take our left foot forward, left knee forward. And we're going to inhale, lift our chest, lift our hands, and take our hips forward, feeling a stretch through the hip flexor on the right side this time. Staying here for 5 breaths. Really lifting and lengthening through the spine, lifting your gaze. 3 more breaths here. And then taking the left hand forward, the right hand back into Warrior Two. Having that left knee bent over the right ankle. Then we're going to inhale, lift our left hand towards the sky and the right hand back towards the right heel. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Noticing that stretch through the front of the right thigh, so through the thigh muscles there. 2 more breaths here. Nice and strong through the legs. And inhale, bring your hands back into Warrior Two. And then take both hands forward to frame that front foot and taking the knee back into a straighter position, taking the toes up. You might need to slide your knee a little bit forward. Get into that comfortable position. If you had a block or a bolster, you could actually lift your hands up a little here. So having your chest up, feeling that stretch through the front of that left leg. Stay here for 3 more breaths. And then coming back into a standing kneeling position. And then we're going to come up into a standing position. Giving your legs a little shake here. So we're going to do a little bit of balancing here. So we're going to start off with taking your left foot slightly out to the side and your right foot forward. And we're going to go into a full crescent lunge this time. So taking your body forward, bending that right knee and bringing your arms up. Stay here for 2 breaths. And then we're going to bring our hands down and take them back into like an aeroplane position. And now feeling that stretch again down the back of the hamstring on the right leg. And then bringing your hands forward to the front of the mat. So you've got your fingertips on the mat, lifting that left leg. So it's sort of like a 3-legged dog. And if you feel comfortable here, taking the fingertips off the mat and bringing your body up into an aeroplane for 3 breaths. If this is difficult, you can drop that left toe back onto the mat. And then bring your hands back down and gently drop that left leg back to the ground and coming back up. And bring your legs together, give them a little shake. And then we'll take it through to the other side. So we'll turn our right foot out slightly and step forward with our left leg into a crescent lunge. So we're going to bring our hands up, bend our front knee, raise our gaze and raise our arms. Feeling that nice stretch through the right hip flexor. 3 more breaths here. Then we're going to take our weight forward onto that front foot. So we've still got our back toe on the mat. and bring our hands back into an aeroplane. Getting nice and steady here. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to drop our hands down to the mat, framing our front foot, and take our right foot off the mat. So it's like a three-legged dog. It's the right foot up in the air. And then when you're ready, taking your fingertips off the mat. If you need to, you can drop that right toe back down. Play with that, looking at the mat, fixing your gaze. One more breath, and then bring your hands back down to the mat. Drop your toe down. Nice work. And then coming back up to standing and giving your legs a little bit of a shake. Well done, both of you. Excellent work. We'll do a couple of rounds now of a sun salute just to warm our body up a little more. So we're going to go to the front of the mat. So you can come with me on the first one if you like, or you can watch the first round. So towards the front of the mat, we're going to inhale, lift our arms, lift our gaze, and then exhale as we fold forward. Inhale, lifting through the chest, lengthening our spine, and then exhale, stepping back either into a high plank, or you can have your knees on the ground, low plank, and slowly lower your body down by bending your arms back towards your body. Inhale, lift through the chest, lift your gaze into an upward dog, and then exhale, tucking your toes under and bringing your hips up into a downward dog. Have a breath here, and then taking your gaze forward towards your hands, and then step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lifting through the chest, lengthening your spine. Exhale, bring your chest towards your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up and bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Nice. Hey, welcome, Penny. Okay, let's do our 2 more rounds of the sun salute. Starting to get a bit warm, I see, Elsa. So inhale, we're going to lift our arms, lift our gaze into a mountain pose. Exhale, folding forward. And then inhale, lift through our spine, lengthen the spine. And exhale, stepping back into a high plank or a low plank, whatever works for you today. Then slowly lowering the body down to the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest. And then exhale, tucking your toes under, up into downward dog. Stay here for a breath. And then raising your gaze towards your hands and step forward into forward bend. Inhale, lift your spine, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, bringing your chest towards your legs. Inhale, coming all the way back up, and hands back to Anjali Mudra. Good work. Let's go 1 more round. So inhale, lifting your arms all the way up, lifting your gaze. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift it, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, bring your chest to your legs. And then stepping back into high plank. And slowly lowering your body down to the ground. And then inhale, lift up into upward dog. Tucking your toes under and coming into downward dog. Stay here for a breath. And then take your gaze forward towards your hands. Step forward into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your chest towards your legs. Hug it in. And then inhale, bring your hands all the way back up to the sky and back to Anjali Mudra. just coming back to your intention here. Thinking about the moon energy that we're drawing on to give us some stability, and also acknowledging all the transformative things that we've done in 2020, celebrating all the things that we've done well. Let's come down to the mat now, and we're going to go into Paschimottanasana, so it's a forward bend from a seated position. Oops. Okay, so we've got the backs of our legs on the mat and our spine nice and tall. And we're going to inhale, lifting our arms, and exhale, taking our hands forward. So at this point, you may have your hands at your ankles, or you may be able to reach through and grab your toes. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And each time you exhale, just allowing your body to relax a little bit more into the stretch, noticing the stretch through the back of your legs and your lower back and your upper back. Each time you're exhaling, just exhaling things that don't serve you. Two more breaths here. And then releasing your hands. Coming back up again, and we're going to do a slight twist here. So we're going to take our left hand on the outside of our right ankle or our right foot and take our right hand back. You can wrap that right hand around your back into a half bind, and we'll do 5 breaths here. Again, relaxing on each exhalation, relaxing a little bit more into the stretch and the twist. Two more breaths here, and gazing towards your toes. Then releasing the right hand, releasing the left hand. Bring your hands back up to the sky, stretching and lifting your spine. And then exhale, fold forward, and take your right hand around that left foot or ankle. And left hand, you can find that around your back. Keeping your gaze at your toes. We'll take 5 breaths here. Nice. And then relaxing, releasing that. Inhale, stretching up. And then we're going to fall back onto our back and hug our knees up to our chest into Apanasana as we rinse out our spine after all that bending, twisting, rolling your lower back around, massaging your lumbar spine, rolling around in one direction in a circle, and then go into the other direction. Bringing your feet down to the mat so your legs are in a bent position, and taking your arms out to the side, straight out from your shoulders. Allowing your knees to fall towards the right side, but looking towards the left, trying to keep the back of your shoulders on the ground, so getting a nice stretch through the front of your chest. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then inhaling, bring your knees back to center. And exhale, take your knees to the left side and look to the right. Staying here for 3 breaths. And again, keeping your shoulders on the ground so you get a nice twist through the right side and a little bit through the chest. And then knees back to center. We'll go a little bit deeper into lower back. So this time we're going to take our left leg folded across the right leg, and we're going to hug that left leg up in towards the chest. So each time you draw your knees towards the chest, exhaling, And then inhaling as you let it release. We'll do this 5 times. This is helping us to release through the glute and the ITB. Just taking any tension out of that area, helping the lower back as well. And one more. Exhaling as you bring it towards your chest. Inhaling as you take it away, and then put the right foot on the ground. Take the left hand out, straight out from your shoulder. Right hand on your left knee, and draw that knee across to the right side. Just staying in this twist, and each time you exhale, just relaxing a little bit more into this position. Just easing the tension out of your lower back. Noticing the twist up the left side of your body. And then as you inhale, bring your knees back to center and swap your legs over. So you have the right leg in front of the left, crossing over, and then hugging that right leg up towards your body. Left leg comes off the ground, hugging that in. Noticing that release through the buttock on the right side. As you bring the knee towards your chest, exhaling, inhaling as you take it away. Let's do 2 more on this side. And then landing the left foot on the ground. Place the left hand on the right knee. Right hand straight out from your shoulder. And as you exhale, draw that knee towards the left side and look towards the right. This is a little deeper, the stretch through the lower back area. Each time you take an exhalation, relaxing a little more into the stretch. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhalation, bring the knees back to center and hug them both towards your chest. Then placing your feet on the ground, we're going to go up into a bridge position. So having your toes nicely spread out, the back of your head and your shoulders are on the mat, hands face down beside you. As you inhale, drawing the heels back towards your buttocks and lift up through the hips. Bring your chin to chest. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can take them underneath you into a clasp position, and then walk your shoulders a little bit more together so you get an even deeper stretch through the shoulders. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Lifting up as high as you can through the hips, squeezing the buttocks, squeezing through the shoulders and the hands. And 1 more deep breath. And then releasing your hands back to the ground and slowly lowering your spine towards the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. And hugging your knees back to your chest again. And then from here, we're going to go into an inversion with our legs up. So you can have your legs up against the wall or against the side of your bed or a chair, or you can go up into a half shoulder stand. So taking your legs up in the air. Having your legs nice and light in this position, give them a little shake. Moving your ankles in little circles. You can move your legs in and out. Bring the soles of your feet together. That's it. We're going to stay here for 5 more breaths. So just relaxing into this inversion. It's very good for your lymphatic system to bring some of the fluids through the lymphatic system from your feet and your ankles, down your legs, towards the lymph nodes in your groin. And 2 more breaths here. And then bringing your feet over your head and then slowly lowering your spine down towards the ground as you unravel yourself. And we're going to roll onto the front of your body, so you're face down. Bring your hands underneath your hips. So lifting up your hips, place your hands underneath there. You've got your forehead pointing down towards the mat. As we inhale, we're going to lift up through our feet and come up into a locust position. So feeling that squeeze through the buttocks and the lower back. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then releasing, bringing your forehead back towards the mat and releasing your hands and bringing them out just underneath your shoulders. Next one, we're going to go into a snake position. So we're going to take those hands back behind us into a clasp position, and we're going to inhale, lift up through our chest, keeping our feet on the ground this time. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. And then release. And then we'll take it 1 step further. So we're going to take our hands out in front of us. And on our next inhalation, we're going to lift up through our hands and our feet. So we're in a position like Superman. So inhale and lifting up, lifting our hands, lifting our feet. Staying here for 3 breaths. Gazing forward. And then release. Bending your knees now and just moving your feet from side to side, just releasing any tension in your lower back. Then we're going to reach back with our left hand, reach back to our left foot into a half boat. And we're going to lift up the chest and pull away through with the feet. Nice, Penny and Debbie both got their feet. I can't see Elsa's. 2 more breaths here, just feeling that nice stretch through the front of the quad on the left side. And release. And then just give your legs a little bit of a release again, just moving your feet from side to side, releasing through the lower back. Then we're going to reach back with the right hand to the right foot. And we're going to inhale, lift up through the chest. And really feeling that foot against the hand, stretching out through that right side. Nice work, ladies. Good work, Penny. 2 more breaths. And then release. Bringing your forehead back towards the mat. Just placing your hands underneath your shoulder blades, and we'll just rinse out with a little upward dog here, little half upward dog. And then release it back. Taking both hands back now to reach back to your feet. With your forehead down towards the mat, then we're going to inhale, we're going to lift up through the chest, lift through the feet into a full boat pose. Nice work, both of you. Taking 3 breaths here. And then release back down to the mat. Good work. And then let's come up into a child's pose. Knees apart, feet together. Bring your buttocks back down to your heels and walking your hands forward We're going to go here for 5 breaths, rinsing out our spine and coming back to your intention again. Breathing in all the good vibes of the full moon and the eclipse, and exhaling through anything that you don't need anymore. Sliding your hands back underneath where your shoulders are into all fours. Then we're going to press up through our hands and take our hips up into a downward dog. Just rinsing out through our feet and our spine, paddling your heels down towards the mat. And then bringing your knees down to the mat, and we're going to take a pigeon pose just to release our spine a little more. Taking your left knee forward and take the foot out towards the side of the mat. Chest up nice and tall, and then sliding back with the right leg. And then if you want to, you can stay here. If you feel you've got a little bit more stretch, you can take yourself down to your forearms, and we're going to stay here for 5 breaths, releasing through that left glute, releasing our lower back. Taking 3 more breaths, just relaxing into that area. And 1 more breath, coming back up onto your hands and bringing the right leg forward and taking the left knee back. So you're back on all fours. And then we're going to take our right knee forward and take the foot across to the side of the mat, the left side of the mat, having your chest up and looking forward, and then sliding slightly back through the left leg to wherever is comfortable for you. You might find that one side is tighter than the other. You can stay here or you can go down a little lower. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. On each exhalation, just exhaling into that glute area, releasing that tension through there. One more breath here. And then coming back up to your hands, lifting your chest, bringing the left leg a little forward, and then taking the right knee back. And we'll go into a couple of cat-cows to rinse out our spine. So inhaling, lifting up through the chest, lifting your gaze, and exhaling, lifting your back up like the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Let's continue on for another 4 or 5, just rinsing out your spine. Then coming into a comfortable seated position, we're going to do a little bit of pranayama breathing, nadi shona, so the alternate nostril breathing. You may have a block or a cushion that you would like to sit on. You can either be in legs folded or legs out the front, whatever works for you. Having your spine nice and tall. Just getting nice and comfortable. Good. Up on your sit bones. So with the Nadi Shona, this is all about balancing your energy, and it's very good for your breathing and your lungs. So we're going to use our thumb and our forefinger. We're going to put these 2 fingers on our forehead, and our thumb and our ring finger of our right hand. One's going to work on the left nostril and one on the right nostril. So we start off with, we'll just do 3 big deep breaths. So breathing in and then let it go. Breathing in through the nose And let it go through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. And let it go through the mouth. And we'll start off our Nadi Shona. So we're going to breathe in through the left nostril. And then we use our ring finger to block that off. And then breathe out through the right. Then breathe in through the right nostril. Block that off with the thumb. And out through the right. In through the left. And out through the right. In through the right. And blocking that off. And out through the left. Let's continue on for a few more rounds at your own pace. So finish the round you're doing and do one more round. And when you finish, bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra, taking 3 big breaths in to the nose and out through the mouth. And one more breath in and let it go. And then coming back into Savasana, into a comfortable position. So you may want to put a blanket over you or bring an eye pillow into it. And we're going to go into a Savasana for around 5 or 6 minutes. Just relaxing, distilling all the energy from your yoga practice. And noticing the benefits of the energy as it flows through your body. Getting really comfortable, taking some deep breaths. So noticing the energy underneath your body, the earth supporting you in your Savasana as you rest after your yoga practice. Just taking some deep breaths and relaxing into this position. Inhaling the energy from the full moon and the lunar eclipse. Noticing your surroundings, the earth beneath your body. Noticing the sounds in the distance. And noticing the sounds in the room. Taking your hands above your head and stretching as you come into a more awake position, and gently rolling to one side, resting there, taking a few deep breaths. Noticing how your body feels after your yoga practice. So you can stay in the lying position or you can come into a seated position as we contemplate the energy of the lunar eclipse and the full moon in Capricorn. It can support us to design our dreams. Be sure to watch the clock so we don't overcommit ourselves. We can use it to help us ground ourselves with structure and let our resistance guide us. And also we can use it to start again. If we started something and then we dropped it in all the turbulence, might be like going for a walk or swimming or whatever it was that you may have dropped. Start that one up again. Bring your hands up to your heart. Thank you for being here to practice your yoga and share your energy today, for all that you do for yourself and to support each other. Let's bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste.